Hey guys, it's Amanda from AmandaReads, and today I'm coming to you with my August wrap-up and September TBR. I cannot believe that we are already going to be in September. I feel like the summer flew by. I feel like this entire year has flown by. Again, this month I'm going to be reading you my little reviews I do on Goodreads. I still think that this is the most effective way to convey my thoughts about the books. So in the month of August, I technically read 4 physical books and 1 audiobook. At the end of my recovery, I wasn't really up for reading some big clunky series or standalones, so I decided I wanted some graphic novels. So I found this really interesting one. It's called Tangles by Sarah Levitt, and it's a story about Alzheimer's, my mother, and me. It has some poems in it, and it's about the author, Sarah, and how her mom went through the journey that is Alzheimer's. So from her diagnosis to her decline and then to her eventual passing. I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I really did enjoy it. This was a random, unexpected find at the used book superstore, and I am so glad it was. I am fascinated by stories of Alzheimer's as dementia runs in my family, and I have watched family members be taken away from me by these types of mental illnesses. Sarah told the story of her mother honestly and beautifully. I managed to hold out finishing the book immediately after starting and got it to last for 2 sittings. I just couldn't stop once I started. If you want an honest, emotional story of a woman coming to grips with her mother's illness, this is the story for you. Still digesting all of the story, but I really and truly found it beautiful. I really liked it, so if that's something that interests you, definitely pick it up. It is a quick read. Like I mentioned, I got it to last for 2 sittings. But I really liked that point of view, and I haven't really found any book like that, and it was cool that it was a graphic novel. The next book I finished was City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, and I realized it has taken me a few months to actually get through this and the Infernal Devices series, but it has been quite the journey. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I don't really want to go into it because if you haven't read the series, I'm not going to spoil you. My review says there were rolling tears and silent sobs consistently throughout the last 100 pages. Touché, Cassandra Clare. And that's really true. This book definitely gives you a definitive wrap-up to the conflict at hand. I know there's another series coming out of this called The Dark Artifices, and I definitely want to read it because I'm very interested in the Blackthorn family. However, don't let the fact that there's another series coming out of this discourage you from reading this series. You wouldn't have to read the next series in order to wrap up this story. This story wraps up amazingly well. By the end of the story, you really are satisfied and feel like everything that happened had to happen, and it is just truly a great way to end. For someone who absolutely hated the first book of the series and didn't even want to continue on, I'm really glad I persevered and did it anyways. After finally finishing the Mortal Instruments series, I kind of was ready to just take a step back and pick up some standalones. So the first standalone I picked up was Love and Other Perishable Items by Laura Buzo. And this is a very short story, very manageable. I gave it 3.5 stars. Honestly, even though the main character has some pretty serious feelings, it was kind of a light read in the fact that I wanted to keep reading it, but I could stop and start and pick up and wait a little bit before doing so. I wasn't super involved because it's such a short book. It's not really too in-depth. You don't really get wrapped up too far. So I really liked it. I liked a lot of the characters. I love the main character, Amelia. She's 15. I saw that some people on Goodreads were like, oh, insta-love. But when you're 15 and you have a crush, it kind of does get insta-love. I wasn't bothered by it because I feel like it was realistic. And the ending, a lot of people were mad about the ending, and here I am again being like, it's realistic. What do you want? I gave it 3.5 stars just because there wasn't much to it, so I didn't feel like it was crazily well developed or anything like that, but I really did enjoy it. It was something light after City of Heavenly Fire, or at least lighter than City of Heavenly Fire. I liked the way it was written. I liked the little change of perspective, especially because it backtracked, so it would tell Amelia's perspective of spring, and it would get to a certain point and then it would backtrack and go to Chris's perspective of all those things that happened as well. So you kind of got both sides, which is really cool. Rather than just picking up from where the other one left off, it rewound and told you again the same story, but just from a different perspective. So I personally really liked that, and I don't know about you, if you've read this book, does anybody else want to fly to Perth and murder Michaela, or is that just me? Let me know in the comments below if you've read this and if you feel exactly the same way, because I really hate Michaela. The next book was another quick read, and that was Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I loved reading Beth and Jennifer's emails. They're so funny together, and you can just tell they have that type of friendship where they're just open and honest, and they just don't care. As far as Lincoln, I really liked Lincoln. He's such a big nerd, but at the same time, he knows that he's more than that. I suspected that certain things were going to happen, but I couldn't imagine how Rainbow would kind of write those things in just because of other things that had happened. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and the only thing I wrote was adorable. Honestly, I just really liked the story, and I don't even know how to properly review it well enough, so it's kind of a you just need to read it for yourself kind of thing. Finally, I'm just going to take a couple minutes to talk about what I'm currently reading and or finishing on this last day of August. I'm currently listening to an audiobook called Last to Know by Elizabeth Adler. Elizabeth Adler, like right off the bat, lets you know who the killer or the bad guy or the villain in the story is. Like, you go in knowing exactly who it is by like the 3rd chapter. But for some reason, I'm still enjoying letting everyone else kind of try and figure out who it is. I'm planning on finishing that today. I have like a half an hour left. That's the other thing, is that her audiobooks are like super short. There's usually like 7 parts, and they're usually about 45 minutes long, so it's like maybe 7 hours, not even. The newest standalone I'm reading is Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library, which I hauled a few months ago. I don't have the dust jacket on here, but it's super cute with the green and the blue and the gold writing. This is like Willy Wonka in a library. Literally, I don't even know how this particular author was allowed to write this without like copyright issues. I love the idea and I get where they were going, but I wish that the author had some more original ideas. Finally, getting to my September TBR. I don't have a set TBR. I'm debating if I want to continue with the standalones or dive into some series. I have updated my TBR jar to include all of the titles from all my hauls. I hadn't updated it since I did the video back in February or March. I decided that I would at least pull out one book and read it. And if it's like a 2nd or 3rd book in a series, that means I'll just read the 1st book in that series. My True Love Gave to Me. Oh, that's an ebook. I'm not counting my ebooks right now because I'm not in the mood to read ebooks. Not a Drop to Drink. Okay. So, keeping in line with my standalone reading, Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis will be on my September TBR. Now, I did hear that there's a rumor that there is a 2nd book coming out, so I'm not sure. This, again, pretty short standalone, so I'm down with that. If you don't follow me on Goodreads, you should, because that is where you will find out what I'm reading and my thoughts as I'm reading and what I thought after I'm done reading. If you've seen a book in my previous haul video that you know I have not picked up yet and you think I should, that's not necessarily a series, but I guess it could be. The Luxe series is like staring me in the face still. I really want to read it, but at the same time I want to read the Summer I Turned Pretty series. So I don't know, I'm just really struggling right now. I don't want to commit. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing really well with your reading goal. Let me know what you read this month and what was really great. If you have any recommendations, what was your favorite book that you read in August and why? I look forward to hearing from you and have a great day. Bye guys.